Hey guys, what's happening? This is Sam from Glow San Diego, and I'm here with the boys from Brooklyn.
What's up? What's up?
But you're not really from Brooklyn, so let's be real. You guys are SoCal boys.
But don't spoil it.
Like that, right off the bat.
Yeah, jeez.
No, we're from Orange County, California.
From Orange County, so right in this area, you guys are home, basically.
Yeah.
Nice. But, so Brooklyn, where does that name come? Are you guys, like, making a joke, or...
Oh, my gosh.
Is this a sick joke that you're playing on me?
No, so it's just like an iconic logo that everybody knows. And then we looked up the meaning, and it means unity makes strength. So we thought that was cool and fitting. And it's just mostly because, like, all caps, you recognize that everyone knows what it is. So,
yeah, definitely. And it's unique.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Sure.
And you guys have been in different projects before, both of you in separate bands, and you both play instruments. So how did this kind of music project start for you?
Good question. We went to the same high school together. Very small high school. And we were both in the only two bands, like, ever. So, like, that's kind of how we met. And then
The only two bands ever in your high school? There was absolutely nobody that was music inclined?
that anybody cared about. That's fine.
Okay.
And the peak of our group's career was opening for his band at House of Blues when they were on tour for
that was
Warped
cool.
Tour or something like that.
And, like, had no idea that we would be working together, nor, you know what I mean? Like, we were just friends from school. Like, that's it.
So then we stopped those bands. Well, mine didn't have any legs. He was actually touring for like 5 years on like real bus tours and stuff like that.
bands failed, but...
And then
My prior band sucked, but you know, it really launched for me with this project.
yeah. I don't know. Speak
we're
for
on a
yourself,
Disney Channel
fella.
movie. It's whatever. And then once we stopped doing that, we started writing and producing for other people.
Yeah. That's how we started working together.
Yeah.
Like the writing game of that. And then we just started writing way too many good songs, and we thought, why not do it for ourselves? And met so many people, learned a lot. I think that was probably the biggest thing too. It really launched this production, this type of dance production, which is different from being in a band and how you produce everything. You know, is all live audio to mostly MIDI and all that, and then incorporating. So that was like the biggest intrigue for us, was to combine that, and we were so intrigued.
Combine the live instrumentation with like synths
where we came from.
Kind of, okay.
So like we were so intrigued with how to make that music. It's so big and powerful, and like we didn't know how to do it. So I think it was like a challenge, and I think that's what we're still honing in on it. But like, that's been the
One day
fun part.
we'll release a greatest hits of all our early EDM demos, and we'll have a good laugh.
Yeah, I know. We always listen.
So which instruments do each of you play?
We both play guitar, piano. I think he can play drums.
I play drums a little bit.
And you guys go out
Air
on
drum.
stage and you actually play guitar.
It depends on the show, but yeah.
Okay, cool. It's like your live shows.
Yeah, our single "Can't Take My Money," the VIP mix. That's me singing. That's us playing guitar. And
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the lyricism behind that. You know, I got to say, it's like, you know, I heard that it's this money can't buy thing. Like, you know, you should spend your money on something dope, or spend your money on things that,
moment,
in the moment, and live your life in present day. So I was listening to it and I was like, oh, that's relatable.
Yeah,
you know, I could see that. So can you guys talk about creating that project?
Sure.
I'll let him tell the story, but he came up with the hook.
And then chime in right after, brother. It'll be perfect. So I had this girlfriend at the time.
Ex former.
Yes, completely single.
Completely single.
And we were just like randomly at the mall, and like I had like a little bit of money, and you know, as a musician, that's like, to come up like that was like, all right, cool, whatever. I was feeling good. I was shopping for things here and there, and then she wanted me to buy her stuff, and it just got me to like think, and like in my head. So I wrote that hook basically, like, I forget what story we were
So you had a
in, but,
girl take you to the mall, but she
Yeah, we
wanted
just-
you to buy her something, like
not
something
quite
special,
like that,
or
but like I was shopping.
You were like,
I
no,
offered
I'm
to
not
buy
gonna-
her something.
okay, you
something
offered
like
to
that.
buy her something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was all going through my mind, and I was feeling good about myself. And then like, I don't know. So that hook came. I can't take my money to heaven. And so I basically wrote that chorus there, and then just walking around and like put it in my phone. Yeah.
Is that something that comes to your head when you're creating music? Like, you'll just be in any setting, something will happen, you're like, that would be the perfect song. Like, I'm going to turn this
100%,
situation
sure.
into a song.
I think if you heard our voice notes, I mean, him with the lyrics or me with like a melody in the car, like, and it sounds like shit, but
Like thousands of voice notes of just songs.
that pop up randomly. So if our voice notes or our notes got deleted off the phone, I don't know, like, I would be screwed.
My notes section is full of things that people say. Like, my friends, they say something
perfect.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's quotable. want to remember that smart. Later. Or I honestly watched this Netflix documentary a couple weeks ago. It was like explain this, and it was like all about music and how the way music is perceived. I started taking notes on it. I was like, wait, I feel lame that my notes section has like literally like just like the weirdest thought processes, but like. Yeah, so do you guys have any other songs that just have like a lot of lyrical substance that, you know, hold a lot of meaning to you?
I mean, I like to think all of them, like, you know what I mean? Like we try to write from a real spot. I think that's something you learn early on. But to touch on what you just said about like writing down what people say, that was one of the best advice I ever got for songwriting. This producer, Robert Palmer, did like Pussycat Dolls and stuff. But he said if you want a hook for the radio, he's like, listen to what your friends are saying because that's what's popular at the time. That's the catchphrase that's going to be like... You know what I mean? Like we all cycled through like catchphrase. I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
And you guys made a remix of Armin's track "Phone Down," and you guys have talked about him as being your boss, low key your boss now. So, what's your relationship with Armin?
Well, we were just in Amsterdam for ADE, and so that was the first time we met him in person because he lives in Europe, and he's super sweet guy, super fun to hang out with. We were just laughing and talking about the remix because it's doing well on radio, and
he was pumped on that. And honestly, that was the first time we met most of the staff too of Armada, and like so much love for us over there. So it felt really good to
it felt like family over there.
Meet him and know that they care about us and know who we are. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Armin's not even the only person that you've done some really amazing remixes for. Portugal the Man, Feel It Still is an example of that. So what are some people that you've like remixed that you feel like hold some kind of credibility?
The last Audion one was cool too.
A long time ago, we remixed Sting.
Oh yeah, we did for like Cherry Tree.
Yep.
And Marlene Farmer. That was cool.
That was a cool one.
Not many people have heard that. We've been fortunate, and shout out to all the Sirius XM people because a lot of our remixes make it to radio.
Yeah.
Mako, Audion, Armin, I think maybe the Tritonal Cash one.
Yeah.
The Tritonal one a long time ago, their song Untouchable was a big one for us because it was like Chad called us last minute and it was like the song's coming out, but they wanted in 2 weeks and they wanted a free download like remix a week prior, so we had like a couple days to do it, and we finished it.
And then they loved it so much that they just released it as the like remix package too.
Yeah. But then we ended up like going on tour with them, and they've showed us so much love, and we've learned a lot from those guys. So that was probably a more memorable one remix wise for us, I think. Because that turned into so much.
And then last year you guys released like a full compilation of just like actual produced work. So I mean, you remixed so many songs, but then coming out with like your own genuine piece of work, and then like bringing that to fruition. And you had a ton of collaborations on that. Like Zach Martino was on that. Do you guys have any collaborations coming up that you're stoked on?
Yeah, the next one. So we've done a few with her, Jocelyn Alice. She's from Canada. She's a Canadian singer. But yeah, she's like great. This next one we have is a banger for sure. It should be December too. It's our next single.
Won't give too many details, but we wrote it in Amsterdam in a couple hours. Can we say the singer? No.
Brando? You talking about that one?
Brando from that song Loud Luxury, Body.
Oh yeah, I love that track.
So we wrote a song with him in Amsterdam. Can't say the title, but it was about something that we experienced when we were in England.
Yeah, we were in London before, so we flew out to Amsterdam.
And so an experience of that, I won't give it away. We wrote a song about that experience. So back to what you said about we like to write stuff that we can relate to, other people can relate to. You know, the big test is like, do you feel dope bumping this in your car, like with the windows down, like when you're driving? And if not, then we're not going to put it out.
Yeah, so it has a feel.
Yeah.
So what did you experience that made you guys want to make this track, or did you just meet Brando while you were over there? You can't.
So that was the first time we met Brando, but we had written the chorus in London because the girls out there are pretty whack. Yes, we'll leave it at that.
But we wrote this song, and everyone from the label came into the studio that night after we made it.
Wait, hold up. What do you mean by whack?
If we tell you more, it's going to give away the title of the song. We can't. We'll come back.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll come back top of the year and play it for you because it'll probably be early next year.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyways, crazy. I forget what the question was, but the song came together so quickly.
I think it was, what was your favorite color? And you went off on all this.
We're talking about collaborations. And then
collaborating with Brando. it was just such a fun session, and it came together literally in a couple hours, and now it's
one of our favorite songs. It's good.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, like, do you guys have anybody that influences you like Armin that you guys are working with?
That's a good question.
That we're working with?
Thankfully, right now we have our and it's I think it's rare, at least for our experience. It's always been like random when our singles come out. But right now, our trajectory of the next 3 to 4 we have lined up, and feel great about it. So yeah, we've been working like crazy in the studio always, but specifically this last year.
Everyone who we work with, we've been doing some stuff with Alesso in the studio for some of his stuff, guitar-wise.
He's been great.
And, just learning from people like him, or there's other great producers, Nico the Kid we've been working with, to Audion. Just you kind of learn a little bit of, everybody likes to share, when you're collaborating, their work process and stuff like that, so you kind of just
Who are we
compile
getting with
it
next
into
week?
your-
Win and Woo, and what's that kid's name? He's
Her name
dope
is
too.
Callie. He's a singer on Def Jam.
Word. Nice. And so, is there a moment for you guys when you started doing this as a living and it became your day to day that you were like, wow, I'm peaking. I am living my best life?
That's a great question. Yeah, because when you start off, you do everything pretty much for free. You're trying to get in any session you can. You're trying to learn whatever you can. And so, yeah, when it came, we've experienced record deals before, and you're making money as a business, but you're surviving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so to answer your question, when it turned to career, it was crazy because you almost didn't even think about it like that. It kind of just was like, oh wow, I can buy a car, I can do this, I can pay my bills, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's been something that you guys struggled from. Kind of humble beginnings, having been in bands during,
But you
just high
learn
school
to,
alone.
not count on it, I guess. So when it came, it was didn't change what we did or what we thought. You know what I mean? It was kind of
On tour, you have $50 for the weekend for food.
yeah, sucks.
And now, we'll be having coffee or something, and you just got to take a moment to be like, man, we're super thankful. We just got a new house by the beach, and we get to pay our rent, and we live here, and this is great. All for music.
Yeah. And it is a
Not-
different perspective. It makes you take it serious and makes you grateful for it, I think. Because I
Yeah.
think you have, at least for me, you have some sort of illusion or fantasy. I don't know if it's realistic until you're there. You know what I mean? These things that you want. So you kind of learn, one, how to make money, and then two, appreciate it because you know how much, time and...
Time goes into it, and dedication. You guys sacrifice a lot of. You were
For
just
sure.
in ADE before that. How often do you travel? Probably 300
Every
days out of the year.
weekend.
Yeah, every weekend. So
You go through debt, you know what I mean? There's a lot of investing in yourself that happens, too, before you get there. So, yeah.
cool. So
Yeah,
you say you're really solid.
Yeah.
Thankful for everything. Yeah.
And you guys have a show at Omnia tonight
Yes.
here in San Diego.
Love
So you guys
Omnia.
are in your homestead. Do you think your fam will come out and support you?
Oh, yeah.
For sure, we got a lot of love down here and a lot of friends. San Diego has been more of a scene to us than LA and Orange County, which is close to us too. But most consistently, especially Omnia.
We grew up opening for people down here a lot.
Yeah, so we
100
grew
times.
a very solid fan base, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. We haven't played here in a while too,
I think we
6
played here
months.
top of the year. Yeah, something like that.
So
Yeah,
what's
we love
something
it
that
down
you
here.
guys do? Sorry about that. What's
good.
something that you guys do when you're here in San Diego? Aside from just visiting friends and family, is there something you go and have to go do or go eat or?
There's really good restaurants. We usually always go to Searsucker.
Full-
It's one of our favorites.
And what's that sushi spot?
Full Moon Sushi.
Oh, Full Moon Sushi. Nice.
Somehow
I'm
we-
all about the sashimi rolls.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hell yeah, they have such good
Uh,
food. Somehow we always end up at the Del Mar racetracks every time.
Oh, yeah, when that's in season.
Yeah.
We always take the train.
Yep.
Because that's really, it's just a beautiful ride on the water. I don't know if there's something weird that we always, we always have a decent amount of tequila, but that's pretty standard.
It's like a pre-ritualistic
so
thing you do.
serious.
You're
Shout out to our
right before I
sponsor,
hit the
Don
stage,
Julio.
I just gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
You were so serious about it. Yeah, pretty good.
I was trying to think of something weird. I don't think we do anything
Something out of
weird.
the ordinary you do. Well, honestly, tequila a little bit cliche, but we'll let it slide.
Okay.
But
You hit us with the
speaking of
Brooklyn
that,
thing first, and then okay.
Yeah, he said tequila. It's different.
you're like, is that the first and only question people ask you every time they interview you?
It is. Geronimo.
Yeah, he got
on
mad.
BPM, he's from Brooklyn, and so the first time we were there in New York doing an interview, we were like,
So I gotta
"Oh,
ask,
crap."
why
But
Brooklyn?
we love you, Geronimo.
Yeah, love you, buddy.
Hey, you guys are a different radio station right now. No,
We love Glow.
Fair enough, though. So speaking of which, though, are there any pre-release like things that you do before you get on stage? Then
We always pray. We always pray together before,
You always
and it's
pray.
in the club, so we're like screaming at each other's ears.
I think I actually read something like that before.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. Well, catch them, Brooklyn, at Omnia San Diego tonight.
Yee.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank you
having
for
us.
having us.